South Korea and Japan are burying the hatchet. Mainly because if they don't, this hatchet might bury them.
It's gone. Oh.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol visited Tokyo in March, and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida visited Seoul earlier this month, which is the first time in 12 years they've had regular high-level meetings. They've also agreed to share more intelligence with each other. And Yoon said that he was open to Japan joining an intelligence sharing agreement he recently made with the US. That pact gives South Korea real-time access to intel about North Korea's missile launches and a say in how the US responds. China hates that kind of thing. Why? Well, why do you think China was so upset about the THAAD missile defense system the US installed to help counter North Korea? Because someday, that could be used against Chinese missiles. This is really big. It was so upset about the THAAD missile defense system the US installed to help counter North Korea. Because someday, that could be used against Chinese missiles. This is really big. Former South Korean President Moon Jae-in was close with China, and he promised South Korea wouldn't form a trilateral security alliance between the US and Japan. And even though nothing like that has officially happened, China is less than thrilled. As my favorite Chinese state-run media, the Global Times, says, blindly following the US and Japan will only turn South Korea into a chess piece. Yeah, China is the only country that can use South Korea as its pawn. China's military was even put on high alert over the growing US, Japan, and South Korea ties.
Good evening. Roshan, can we start? We can start now, no? Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Professor Manjula, can you hear me?
Yeah, Roshan, we can hear you. Okay. Okay. Then I'll start now.
Yeah.
Okay. සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක් වේවා සියලු දෙනාටම. Research A to Z YouTube channel එකත් එක්ක සහ Research A to Z සමූහයත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා ඉන්න හැමදෙනාම අපි අද පිළිගනු ලබනවා. අපේ විශේෂිත වෙබිනා එකක් අද අපි සිදු කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. Postgraduate Opportunities in UK කියන තේමාව යටතේ අද අපේ රිසෝස් පර්සන් විදිහට අපි තෝරගෙන තියෙන්නේ සහ අපිත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙලා ස්වේච්ඡාවෙන්ම මේක බාරගත්ත අපේ මේ ඩොක්ටර් රොෂාන් පණ්ඩිතරත්න. ඩොක්ටර් රොෂාන් ලෙක්චරර් කෙනෙක් විදිහට වැඩ කරනවා මැනේජ්මන්ට් ඇන්ඩ් මාකටිං University of Westminster UK ලන්ඩන් වල. මීට කලින් UK යුනිවර්සිටි එකකම වැඩ කරා University of Newcastle University එකේ. ඩොක්ටර් රොෂාන් සබර්ගම් යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ප්‍රථම උපාධිය හදාarලා ඊට පස්සේ තමයි UK වලට ගිහිල්ලා දැන් UK වල වැඩ කරන්නේ. මම අවස්ථා කීපයකදීම කීප දෙනෙක් සම්බන්ධ කරගන්න හැදුවත් ඒ යම් යම් අයගේ තියෙන කාර්යබහුලත්වයත් එක්ක ඔවුන්ට අපහසු වුණා මේ UK ගැන මේ වෙබිනා එකක් කරන්න. මම හිතන්නේ මේ මම අහපු ගමන්ම රොෂාන්ට මම කතා කරපු මුල්ම දවසේම රොෂාන් ඒක පිළිගත්තා. මොකද මේ එයා ඒ වෙලාවේ කියපු එක කතාවක් තියෙනවා මේ අපි හැමෝම නිදහස් අධ්‍යාපනය ඉගෙන ගත්තු අය. ඉතින් ඔපචුනිටි එකක් තියෙන්නේ කොයි වෙලාවෙද අනිත් අයට උදව් වෙනවා කියලා. ඒක ඊටමත් හොඳ මේ හොඳ පාඩයක් ඔහු කිව්වේ. මම හිතනවා අද ඩොක්ටර් රොෂාන්ගෙන් අපිට හොඳ තොරතුරු ටිකක් ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා. In addition to that, Dr. Andrew Machenyi, my name is that pronunciation is okay, Roshan?
No.
Andrew
McChain.
Andrew Machen, that he is the actual well experienced person in higher education. Today he also contribute to and also help Roshan to conduct this webinar. And we have in Google form around 200 and more than 200 people registered. I send all link to the all of the registered people, but now we can see around more than 50, around 60. I hope this webinar will benefit to you all, because I know most of the people there are a few dream countries in higher education. UK is one of the dream country, most of the Sri Lankan academic and also other researchers. Then I will not take more time. Then I invite Dr. Roshan Panditaratna to conduct the session. And actually, end of the session, Dr. Roshan will give some opportunity to you to ask some question. Then wait until the end of the webinar. You can get more knowledge. Thank you. Dr. Roshan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Professor Manjula. It's really happy to see you and really happy to contribute here. Do I have the opportunity to share the screen? Can you enable me to share the screen? Yeah. So thank you again, Professor Manjula, to this opportunity to share some of the experience. And hello, fellow Sri Lankans. Hope I think you're doing very great. And today here with me, Andrew McKay, one of my generous, one of the colleagues. We work together, and I'm really appreciate your time today, even considering the weekend that you are here. We are really grateful to you and really happy to see you. And I hope you can contribute us with some of the valuable information for us and our fellow Sri Lanka to know about how they, how they want to get to postgraduate opportunity in the UK. And let's make a start. I think you can see my screen. So we'll make a start. So here today, my name is Roshan Pandratna, with me, Andrew McKay, today with you to get you some more details. Right. So make a start with some of the context I can give you. I hope you more or less familiar with the context, because as Professor Manjula said, one of your countries that you're looking for your further education, higher education. So probably you got some idea, but I'm trying to give you some further kind of insight. Maybe you can ask for the question for clarification end of this presentation, and we can go from there. And in terms of context, higher education in the UK, one of the renowned universities we have here, and providing lots of opportunities for lots of international students in here. They get more benefit in terms of learning, in terms of the latest technology, latest subject matters. They get lots of support, and also degrees from the UK higher education, and well known in around the world, and well respected and highly recognized when you search opportunities for your career. The degrees awarded in the UK highly regarded, and also top universities in terms of ranking. We have here lots of universities internationally recognized, and even there are some universities that are very specific in terms of subject matters. In terms of, let's say, I'm from marketing and business management, social sciences. I'm not in the pure science person. I got some inquiries from you about some of the peak areas of questions, but I'm trying to get you some idea, right? And in terms of business and marketing, there are very popular universities in the UK in terms of ranking. And the other thing, brilliant work opportunities, right? And if you get to international student here, you can work up to 20 hours per week during your term time, and out of your term time, you can work full time with the consent of the university. You can write to the university, ask with a formal letter if you want to work out of term hours, work as a full time, right? And in terms of the culture, it's very diverse. Many cultural nations combined, right? And it's very widely vibrant environment here in the UK. So you get international experience if you get to here as an international student. And on here, one of the spike came because the UK government announced new post-study work in any international student who complete their degrees. They can work up to 2 years full time after they graduate. So that's the reason you can see this figure. The recent years they came up to 600,000 plus. The international student reported in the UK with the announcement of the post-study work. Regardless, that one of the destination most attractive in the world, UK higher education. So regardless that it's you can see the gradual increasement. However, it's pretty much attractive all the world. And in terms of numbers, you can see here most international students reported. This somebody say cannot hear properly. Is that true? Something to do with my end or anyone? Andrew, is that for you the same? You can speak up. You muted.
Yeah, it's a little broken.
The
reception
not that good.
You're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't know. Let me just take
Can
out
you
my,
turn your mic up a little bit? I can't turn my computer's at maximum. I can't turn it anymore.
okay. So can you hear me now? Clear now.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So we'll continue. Yeah, that's fine. So here this table shows about the number of students reported in terms of numbers. Here, non-UK, EU actually, from international point of view, student reported in these universities. If I get to here, University of Hertfordshire, it's pretty much close, well-known university. So students, actually, it's very much subject spectacular. But here, totally, you can see how students are reporting from outside to the UK as a destination of higher education. And then the next slide will show you the most popular subjects for international student in the UK in terms of business and management studies, right? Engineering, technology, computing and social sciences, right? And also in terms of business and management peculiar, right? More than 200,000 students reported the UK in 2021-2022. And the next slide shows the university's ranking. So if I give you a little my language, if you don't mind, Andrew. So make a university ranking mama dila තියෙනවා. There are ranking බලන website තුනක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ website කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන් මේ measure කරන මේ ආයතන වගේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට මේ තුනෙන් ඔයගලන්ට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමද යුනිවර්සිටි ඔයගොල්ලන් යන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ඉන්න යුනිවර්සිටි වල තියෙන රෑන්කින් එක සමහරවිට මේ රෑන්කින් ඕවරෝල් රෑන්කින් එක විතර තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් ඔයාලා සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක මේ ඇතුළත් කරලා ඔයා කරන යුනික් ඒරියා එක මොකක්ද කියලා බලලා ඒකෙන් ඔයාලට මෙෂර් කරගන්න පුළුවන් ඒ මොන තත්ත්වෙද තියෙන එක. සමහරවිට ඕවරෝල් රෑන්කින් එකේ උඩම තියෙන එකක් සමහරවිට සබ්ජෙක්ට් ස්පෙસિෆික් ටිකක් අඩුවෙන් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක සාමාන්‍ය normal. regardless ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳම යුනිවර්සිටි අමතරව ඒක එහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? But overall it's a very good quality in terms of education in the UK. Regardless that, main thing I advise to you, it doesn't matter about the ranking as far as you work hard, right? As far as you put your effort towards your success, there is no matter about the ranking. That's purely up to you to excel, right? That's my idea, right? So Andrew, if I give you some kind of time to talk, if you can give some insight for us here, if you got anything.
Yeah. Well, thank you for inviting me. It's a privilege, a pleasure to be here. I could just underline what you said about world-renowned universities. It's a great place to be. There's a whole lot of courses, there are a lot of research opportunities, and we do have a lot of cultural diversity. In Newcastle, we have a lot of people from Southeast Asia, from the Indian subcontinent, and we even have a Chinatown, of which we are very proud. If you come to the UK, of course, your English is going to improve. If your English isn't very good when you come here, we will gladly help you out. When you leave, your English is going to be spot on. There are a lot of attractions in the UK. We have a lot of archaeology. In Newcastle, we have a lot of Roman remains. So there's always something to do at the weekend and evenings. There's a great nightlife. Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yep.
Right. And I think there's, the UK is a hub for a lot of international business. So I think down the road from where I live in Newcastle upon Tyne, we have Airbus Space. We have Rolls-Royce, there's even Boeing in the UK. So a lot of international businesses have made a home in the UK, and they'll employ people from around the world. So it's a great place to do networking. And I can just tell from my experience of doing a master's degree that one of the things is to get to know your fellow students. So if you're writing a dissertation, you can bring in your experience from industry as to how to solve problems, and you can use their experience from their industry and how to solve problems. So You can use so if you're management, you can use Ryanair. How can you use the Ryanair example in your industry? How can you cut costs in your industry? So I would encourage you to do that. The teachers are all highly experienced. I worked with Dr. Roshan, and I was shocked at how clever he is. He's just a fantastic, very friendly, and he's just very knowledgeable. It's an absolute honor and a privilege to have him in the UK. UK is a much better place because of Dr. Roshan. So by all means, get in touch with Roshan. Lots of work opportunities in the UK, lots of postgraduate stuff. I'm just reading a few notes here. We have a lot of entrepreneurial resources, job interviews, cross-border collaborations. It's a great place to study. The people are very friendly, and as you can see from the figures which Dr. Roshan has provided, it's a more and more increasingly popular place to study and to work. I hope that's some sort of contribution, Roshan.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I invite you later on as well. Some of the insight I just want to find out from you.
Right.
I will invite a little bit later on for further discussion. All right.
Yeah, I'm here all the time.
Perfect. So you can check these three ranking sites in order to get your university selected, to know how they rank. But as I said to you, it doesn't matter. As far as you work hard, you put your effort towards completion successfully, your qualification, doesn't matter the ranking, you will be able to successful, because the UK higher education generally, as Andrew mentioned, it's very widely recognized, and worldwide opportunities who are here, then you are in a safe hand, right? In terms of postgraduate work as well. Then I'll just share one of the screen. This is the complete university guide that previously ranking, one of the screenshot I get here. So you can search where is the overall score, right? And student satisfaction, right? Research quality and graduate prospect, right? After completing the qualification. Obviously, Cambridge and Oxford, they share mostly one to another, one and second place. Yes, but doesn't matter, right? So wherever you are looking for any university somewhere down the line, doesn't matter if you work hard, really, it's up to you totally, right? But just give you some insight if things you are looking outside the the country, so need to find further details about university where you can find information from, right? Good. So I think this is the main area that you're looking for actually today, since I look the questions generally based on scholarships, how you can get scholarships, right? So that's the more or less nowadays we're looking for outside, since there are universities, private organizations, NGOs, right, and government institutions. They have the scholarship for even international students, right? Scholarship are purely based on merit. Probably merit could be come from from the academic excellence, right? Good degree, right? Related subjects, right? And also it could be some extracurricular activities if you excel in sport. At the same time, you had your academic completion, that can be double awarded, right? And also the scholarship can be varied based on financial needs you can get. Also, there are some situations, maybe science related matters. I said to be a niche, right? So if they are having very much gray area, so people have less capability of handling, like maybe science experiments, or maybe computer science, maybe, right? So there could be a higher chance scholarship can be obtained, because there are less people for that kind of talent, right? However, generally scholarships are around, only you need to search in the right way and apply in the right way and build a network in the right way and go for it, right? I have seen some of my network here in the UK. They came as international students, they got some scholarship while they are studying actually. They didn't come, they came for self-funded first time, but they work very hard, they excel their, the qualification, they build the network inside the university, right? And do, extra things, arranging conferences and work with, other department, right? And then they got awarded some of the scholarships, some fee waivers as well. So they got some, bursaries, right? So not the fully, amount of fee they don't want to pay. So they got some concession, right? So based on their performance, actually, that's what I said today, performance, right? Academic performance, they also got, some kind of scholarship bursaries, even they started studying in the UK as a program, right? Right. So I think this is something I need to share today as well in terms of how you can find scholarship. There are two important websites that you can search for scholarship, but generally this is for PhD search, but alongside you can find that there are some studentship or scholarship or maybe assistant, kind of thing, laboratory related if it is like, right? So you can find some basic search here or types basic search based on your area. Let's say if you look at marketing, right? Type your niche area of marketing, right? AI marketing or maybe some relationship marketing, right? So then there are searches come along, then you get to know where the scholarships are, right? Otherwise, as I said to you earlier, if you're looking for kind of, if you're willing to search about the ranking or the top order or maybe down there in the line, any university you select that, so you make a search, right? It's not clear. I don't know why. Professor Manjula, is it true? Is it true? I don't know why. Manjula? Professor Manjula, are you with us or else? This is same, Andrew, for you as well again. Andrew, is it
Sorry.
the same for you? The
Yeah,
line is not clear?
it's not a brilliant line. It comes and goes.
Really? Okay, let me check again. Just give me a minute.
Sorry.
Okay, probably. Hello, I'm back again. Right. Is that something different now? Is it clear for you? Is it much better? Put my highest volume. Andrew, if you can give me your, is it clear a little bit? Much better?
It might be a little better. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, because I got a few devices on the internet, maybe the band is not enough, so I stopped them. Probably then now improving, probably. Right. Good. Yeah. Good, good. So if I go from there again, right? There are two important websites, right? So you can search for scholarships and studentship for PhD. Probably you don't find directly scholarship for masters, level 7 qualification. Unfortunately, there are no many funded, but surely there are plenty of PhD scholarship available, right? For international students, right? It's not many for masters. However, maybe it's, as I said to you, it's a very gray area or niche area you specialize. So then you can probably get for masters as well, but you need to make a good search, right? So these two websites will allow you to search probably studentships and probably funded areas of your research you can get, right? Apart from that, as I said to you, if you have any selected university in your identified, and then you can search based on the university and the scholarship together on Google, right? So then you can get to the right place, right? I can show you a little later on. I got some slides and give you some insight how you get there, right? And here, one of the example I got from jobs.ac.uk. So this is not primary for PhD studentship, but for the academic jobs actually. If anybody already here in this audience, they have academic experience, right? And some expertise on the area, right? So you might try direct job, right? And apply, right? I know a few people out there, they keep trying, right? So you can do the same. This is one of the website for academic jobs, right? But apart from that, you can find PhD. You can see here on the second tab on the top, find PhDs, right? And then you can make a search, right? Yesterday or day before, I just did a small search, say PhD studentships, United Kingdom, then came up to 360, matches, right? But there may be different subjects related, not primarily your area, but you can make a good read on it, and then you will be aware that that is something still related to you or you are looking forward. And then I took this one of the examples here from Southampton University, one of the top universities, right? So I taken as an example here, right? So they advertise this PhD for law students, right? They're law Southampton law. So they placed on this advertisement on 30th of August, right? Close date is 30th September, right? So they mentioned about the funding for international students as well, right? So that you get the opportunity, right? So then I realized, okay, that's something to have the opportunity to apply, right? And also they said funding opportunity amount, right? So they get paid up to 18,000, right? Also, you can support with their, the teaching staff. You can teach hours with, their agreement amount, right? So this is the second part of the advertisement. Southampton, continue from there, right? So you can read details, right? So how you are going to be fit on these, right? How your expertise is going to be related, right? And how you going to apply it, right? So here successful applicants will be assigned to supervisors and will join one of the research centers and contribute the objective of the respective centers, right? So here also PhD student will gain teaching experience, right? So that's a good thing, right? So I hope many of them are looking forward PhD for a academic career rather than industry. But industry had got some like different types of high level 8 like DBAs for business student, Doctor of Business Administration, DBA, right? That's purely for kind of industry related kind of qualification, level 8, right? Whoever is looking forward to do PhD, they already engage in teaching, or they're looking forward to engage with teaching, right? So then that's the opportunity you have here, right? So you can teach while you are engaging with the PhD studies or PhD research, right? That's a golden opportunity. You can be familiar with the environment, familiar with the with UK higher education, right? So that's a plenty of opportunity around. Okay? And here it says how to apply. I have taken this from the same example from University of Southampton, right? So please apply for a PhD in law, right? With your academic transcript, CV, right? And you need to have your research proposal, right, up to 1500, right? So that's a key, right? So you should have kind of research proposal that they are looking forward to you to recruit, right? So then you need to read more. So you need to dig more on what they are looking for, right? So I think there are areas they mentioned here, right? There are 4 areas. So environmental, international criminal justice, law, technology, AI, right? Property law, right? So if you are within this area, so you have a better chance, right? Be applied with the right, correct way of, having a proposal with you, right? So proposal has got different formats sometimes. Sometimes proposal has got unique format to the university, right? So then you can go to the university website and you can find out details how you need to format the correct way of writing a proposal. But generally, so you should have introduction, should have the literature review, right? You should have the methodology, right? And when you want to do time plan, right? So there are plenty of things, right? Gantt chart and etc. And the bibliography or reference list, right? That's the key thing, right? But apart from that, there may be some situation subject specific, right? Okay, and you need to look forward and apply, right? Okay. On the other hand, so some of the questions came along, right? Say that how we find a supervisor, right? So this is one of the way of finding a supervisor. Look here, inquiries may be addressed, right? Professor Burnett, right? So best thing, you can email whoever, responsible here, maybe not necessarily your potential supervisor actually, but whoever responsible can have further details, right? Or maybe they direct you to right supervisor later on down the line and link with the supervisor, and you can have a good formal, sometimes they invite for a formal meeting before you get to the the formal opportunity, right? So they need to find out whether you got the right capability in terms of academic progress, performance, right? And you're right, that's a key thing, right? So you should be able to demonstrate your right ability and at right attitude towards get this opportunity, right? So that's a key thing, right? So in that sense, so you can search on those 2 websites mentioned, and specifically you can search on the specific, the university, right? So this university where I work for, right? University of Westminster. I just search on Google, say that where I can find the postgraduate scholarship, just to show you, right? So their website came out like this screenshot, right? So Lancet postgraduate scholarship, right? 10,000 up to. So I think it's a master's, right? And also very unique for Black Asian minorities, right? Minority ethnic backgrounds, right? But here it's for the real estate development, right? Okay. So likewise, you can go specific university and search for scholarship, right? So then you can make a try, right? So if it is PhD, right? So you should be able to, have the proposal ready. Or if it is master's, right? Probably your first degree and your intention, your purpose, right? And we call personal statement, right? So your personal statement, what is your intention, right? So you need to explain in your, account, right? Okay. Do you have any messages? No. So far, I think. Andrew, my friend, you can hear me right now? A bit, yes, good. Well done. Thank you. Okay. Right. So one of the concerns of you today as well, right? About the funding agencies, right? So if you looking forward funding, that can be funding institution in the UK, they can get funding for research, sometimes your PhD as well, apart from those things I mentioned. Especially UK Research and Innovation, one of the main institution in the UK for funding. So if you go to that link, I can share these details with you, Professor Manjula, then he can share with you again, right? So if you go to their website and find out is any particular area that you're interested, they awarding funding. That's right. Right. So recently I've been their UK Research and Innovation website. So I found that social science researchers, they get funding for research projects, right? So if you got a really good research idea, you're looking forward to, address unique, contribution to the knowledge, or if you looking forward to expand, literature gaps, right? Or address to the literature gaps, right? So you better try these websites, right? So you sometimes maybe need to get some UK counterpart. Yes, some agencies, they need someone who in the UK, but you can be a partner. You can be a partner outside, right? Especially the UK research and innovation I have seen recently, and they need someone who actually in the UK, but they can add some partners all around the world, right? So they have especially in the social science, right? And they can be research partners, and then they get jointly get funding award. So likewise, especially in the big British academy as well. So better try those things as well if you're looking forward to get some fundings for your future research, right? Okay. And even further, right? So here in this screenshot, you can see the British Academy, they award postdoctoral fellowship as well. So whoever already completed their PhD, so if they're looking forward postdoctoral research, right? So here it says even the early career researchers, right, in social sciences, right? So they can try, okay? And then probably while you're doing your postdoctoral, you can get some teaching experience in the UK, right? And then you can, slowly you can join to the, the permanent staff, right? So because if you performing well, right? So they are definitely offering you the opportunity because I have seen many news around. So if you work well, right, they got the opportunity to award you, the skilled worker visa, right? Tier 2 visa, right? Right. So here I put in middle. So network is net worth, right? So that's the key, right? So you need to build the networking around you to get to the right people around you, right? It's the same like financial capital or the financial wealth you have. So how many network around you will be actually, valuable for your career, right? So you can build network through conferences, right? So you can see that, the academic uh, people, they address in the conference, so you can, meet them, to them. So then find out some more detail. Probably person who talked to could be your potential supervisor for your research. Who knows, right? So likewise, always better to have the good network around you. Have, probably funding, scholarships, and the further improvement in your career. And then I'm trying to explain you about the language requirements, right? Any messages now? So if you're looking forward to come to the UK as an international student, right? So you might need to submit your, the language capability to the visa and even the university at the first place, right? So the accepted range can be purely based on the university that you look forward, right? So probably 6.5, right? Sometimes 7.5, PhD level, sometimes depending on the university, they might ask you. And the TOEFL can be accepted as well instead of, you don't have to have these all one go, right? Only one thing. Even Duolingo, I think you heard that Duolingo can be accepted as well, right? ET is widely accepted nowadays, right? So one of these you will need to submit along your, the academic transcripts and etc. to get the offer from the university, right? But I got some question came from you and say that is it compulsory to have the IELTS or the English language requirement to get the offer from the university? Sometimes not, depending on the circumstances, right? Since if you got your first degree in English medium, right? So you can try this website called ECTIS. It used to be UK NARIC, but with the Brexit situation, they rebranded as ECTIS, right? So in this website, if you go to the option called Visa and National Services, right? So if you got your first degree awarded in English medium, so for your master's or your PhD, you don't have to do your IELTS, right? But there's a fee for that, this service. You need to pay around £40 plus with the delivery charges, right? If I remember correctly, the reason, kind of tried to help one of the friends I checked, right? So if you don't want to do IELTS or any other English qualification before you come to the UK, right? You can try here if your first degree is in English medium, right? Apart from that, some university, even you don't want to do this one, they have their own uh, test, right? So let's say, Southampton University. So they have their own, even Northumbria University as well, right? They have their own, similar to IELTS, they got their own test. So if you pass one of the tests, you will be able to, get the offer, right? Sometimes based on your work experience, based on your academic performance, right? So they can assess you and don't have to do any English requirement, but make sure you should have right communication skills, writing skills before you come to the UK. That's a necessary thing. Don't come, as somebody said that, okay, you don't have to do IELTS or English requirement, but you need to have the language, right? Capability, communication skill, writing skill, right? All the four skills of, language you need to be, because you are here to, here study, right? You are here not to do anything else. You are here to study and have your future build if you're looking forward to settle here, right? So then why are you worrying about not doing IELTS, right? That's what many I have seen news around. They promote that you don't want to do this, we offer you these places, right? But you need to talk to yourself first. I'm able to communicate effectively. If you don't, it's fine. You can learn, right? Right. So you can learn this language, English language, right? So you can follow YouTube, you can go for personal classes, right? So you need to build your skill, right? So along that, with your academic performance, here you are, right? So you will be able to be successful, right? And Andrew, I'm talking continuously. Do you have anything to say? Yeah.
No, I think in my experience, most of the students I've come across from the Indian subcontinent, their English has always been very good. I've been to India and there was a lot of English there, and I thought the English was very good. And so, and I think if you come here, you'll sure pick it up. I don't know if that, but what Roshan's saying is very true. Yeah, so you're doing a good job, Roshan. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, one of the question came along, said the intakes in the UK higher education. Normally, they recruit, international student, even the home student, January and September. There could be some April, mid of June, as Newcastle College, they have, mid of term, mid of year as well, 5 semesters, right? So it's based on the institution you look for, right? But usually there are 2 intakes, right? In terms of academic terms, right? There we have, autumn term from September to December, and spring term from January to April, and summer from May to late June, right? So probably summer term, many of you, if you're looking forward, go holiday with your friends, families, right? Even, here, they look forward to summer, since majority of the universities, for international students, right? Students actually, because they saw the time, if you take, right? But advance, if you're looking forward, or let's say the next January intake, so now you need to start your process, right? Because it may take some times to go through with the process, with the application. Probably you will be interviewed by the university representatives, right? So then they will evaluate your capabilities, and they report back to the admin team. So there could be some kind of process involved, right? So then you need to be very much ready with in advance to get to the next intake, right? Okay. And here I talk about self-funded fees, right? And masters probably less than maybe 10,000. And Andrew, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. Probably 10,000 roughly for a master, and then PhD starting from 12,000. And
10,000.
Yeah.
Starting at 10,000. Yeah, depends on the school you go to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about PhDs, but
Okay. Right.
10,000 is a realistic figure. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Andrew. Yes, perfect. The university where I work for right now, University of Westminster, in business school actually, in our PhD started from 14,500. Business school, probably different to the other departments, but in our business school, 14,500 per year, if it is you are self-funded, right? If you are self-funded. Well, as I said to you, if you're really performing, if you build the network around, so you are capable enough for supporting the network, right? So when you come to the UK for a self-funded, you can switch for these scholarships or bursaries, right? Totally up to you, because the effort that you put, that's purely payback to you in terms of convincing those who are in the department, and then you can get the bursaries and fee waiver, right? It depends, right? And here I mentioned about the typical, right? There could be some situations, there may be additional or not needed in this list that you're looking forward to apply for the universities in the UK, right? So you may need to have your personal details, right? Educational history, your first degree, right? So one of the questions came along from your end, say that I got a first degree, first degree in as a second class upper. Can I directly go to the could be, right? So you better to check with the university if they offer, kind of, promotion to you, rather you don't have, master's degree in the middle, and go to the point where PhD or research you can start, right? It purely with the institution. If they offer, there is no here you can get to, PhD. your perspective. And some of you also asked if I don't have a good degree in first degree, first class or second upper, is that a barrier for me to get a PhD, right? Uh, Depends again, right? I cannot say 100%, right? It purely depends, right? Have a ordinary degree, right? Your first degree, if they perform their, your masters, right? And then accumulate level, right? So you can get a, good impact to the PhD, right? But as far as I said to you, if you put effort, or you can convince whoever interview you when you get your studentship or PhD interview, can convince you are capable enough to carry out the research that you propose, they are to take you, right? That's totally up to the people who you're trying to, convince, right? So if you got a employment history, that's better to mention, right? And the program selection that we need to do. Personal statement that I mentioned earlier, right? So you need to have that statement clearly that focuses on, your intention, right? From there, mainly, the admin or whoever is looking forward, recruit you or take you as an international student, they are willing to see that what is your purpose of having this qualification, what value that can be added to you in future, right? So they are curious on that, right? So be open, don't manipulate, don't say that I will be in that level, that will be, kind of, unnecessary, speculation, right? Don't make it inflate. That's what I want to say. Be frank, genuine, right? So you want to write your personal statement exactly that you want to be, right? Don't make it inflate in order to, get more favorable outcome. Don't make it. Doesn't make any sense, right? You need to know about what to do, right? And what is the main purpose of taking this qualification? What value will be added to you once you do that? That's what you need to do. Right? I think with the things changing, the chat GPT, I think Andrew and me very much, discussing about AI things, news around, right? So I think with the chat GPT, it's good personal statement, but I think in moving forward, university may go for, recording thing, right? Your personal statement should be in terms of, recording. So in a video format, right? You don't want to, write something because nowadays generative AI and all they do a good job than human, right? So they can be created by anyhow in great level, but actual person doesn't have that kind of qualities. It's a big disparity. So now I think universities are moving towards you need to record like I'm doing now to you. So you need to explain will be your personal goals or your future aspiration by taking this qualification so that it may change in the future. So the reference needed, probably two references, current employer or your previous your employee, right? Employers, right? And kind of information. It's better to have two references ready when you get documents ready, right? And of course, you need to make your payment unless it's a kind of the scholarship you will go for, right? And there could be two outcome once you apply. It could be a conditional offer or it could be unconditional offer, right? So conditional offer means they like to take you, but there may be missing documents, right? Sometimes you haven't completed your English requirement, you haven't done your IELTS or English requirement, but the university is happy based on your other details, your education or your experience, right? They're happy to offer you the college program that you're looking for, right? But you have missing documents. So that's what you get conditional offer. Then they will mention. So if you complete those requirements within that certain period, so they are happy to offer you the program that you're willing to. On the other hand, if you get an unconditional offer, that means you get all the main necessary requirement fulfilled in terms of academic or maybe your English requirement, right? Other things, your bank statement, if you're paying, for the qualification, you need to show the money, right? 28 days, you need to put in your bank and get the bank information letter. So they all fine. So then they give you unconditional offer. That means you have the offer officially without having to do anything. Just what you need to do, the next step, just try to apply your visa, BFS, right? You know that BFS. Okay. Right. So I think this is the very interesting thing, right? So living in the UK, I think I pretty much like to hear from Andrew, right? But before that, I'll just give you kind of, news. I think you know this already. From January 2023, only level 8 PhD student can be accompanied by dependents like, husband or wife or children, right? They can come together, right? But at the minute, up to this year end, anybody look for your master's degree, they can bring their, the dependents, children, husband or wife, right? But from 2023, from January, it will not be able to, for level 7, but only level 8 PhD students only. But I think since you have seen the graph, it's hugely, spiked, the international student around. So probably next 2 years, probably they change, again, because that's the nature of the rules, right? They put it in sometimes, they change to attract new people, those days change, right? Okay. And cost of living purely depend on the area that you're going to, study, right? London, bit of, in terms of, the renting and, the transport is quite high compared to other out of London area, right? And I think it's pretty much better to ask from Andrew. What do you think, Andrew? Andrew, I think you muted.
Yeah, hi. I couldn't quite hear. What is it you want from me? Sorry.
The living cost, living in the UK. What do you think? Is it the line is very bad again?
Well, I think if you depends where you live. If it could be something like £500 a month for rental accommodation. Depends on if it's how many rooms you need. If you're a PhD, if you brought your 3 kids with you, you might need something a bit bigger. It could be £1,000 a month, depending where you live. And you could reckon about half of that again for council tax. Your food could be, depends on the size of your family, costs £100 a month. Sorry, a week, £200 a week. And you've got, if you run a car or you've got transport, you need to put that on top. Of course, you'll have to pay. I don't know if some people will have a. It's quite popular to have a part-time job, which could earn you like £10 an hour if you did deliver pizzas or something. If you have time to do that, of course, you have to pay a tax on that. I think that's all I can think of at the time being. Yeah. Is there anything else I've missed, Roshan?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much. Thank you, Andrew, for your great insight. Yeah, as you know, one of the students, you can work up to 20 hours to support with your expenses, right? But out of your, the study hours, out of terms, you can work. And then one of the interesting parts, right? Switching your visa type, right? So now, if you come as an international student, we call general students. It used to call tier 4 visa, right? So once you complete your qualification, you can apply for postgraduate work 2 years, right? That's still available, right? But if you can apply for a permanent skilled worker category, which is we call tier 2 visa, right? So it helps you to apply for a permanent residency after 5 years, right? So now 2 years postgraduate visa does not calculate as a lawful status for 10 years rule, but the skilled worker, after you get one of the sponsorship in the UK from employer, so you can get your permanent residency after 5 years. So that's the most of them are following right now based on their qualification, their capability. They try to switch from students to skilled work tier 2 visa. So I hear it as a client because as a purpose, right? Because it's open, widely open. Job market is widely open. That's what I just want to give you kind of message here, right? So depend on your capability, your expertise, or the qualification that you complete. So you open to find a placement, probably internship first, right? Once you get the internship, you might get the permanent job offer, right? And once you get to the satisfactory level performance, right? Actually the right attitude to the employer, right? So they consider to give you, the sponsorship, right? So, right, based on that. So that's what I keep here. It's perfectly blank. It's widely open that you can try and you can be keep trying on top of it, right? So last not least, here, I'll give you kind of valuable advice to you as good practices, right? Before I come to your the question and answer. Sorry, I don't know, the line is bad. I don't know, maybe around surrounding, maybe kind of renovation going on. I don't know really. Sorry about that if you get the line break, right? But I'm trying to give you more inputs by our own experience, right? So the first thing, you need to have the growth mindset, right? So growth mindset means you should have the ultimate goal to be successful, right? So you may have some collapse, you demotivate, right? So you kind of not able to do things, right? But if you think, okay, I can be successful, so you can be definitely. So you need to have high expectation. If you got a growth mindset, definitely you can do it. And next thing, right level of attitude. That's the key thing, right? I think Andrew can come to here as well to explain you about the attitude, right? So the right attitude towards, people, right? Or the environment, right? So then you have a better chance to be successful as well, right? Andrew, do you have anything to say on the here on the attitudes?
Yeah, well, I think everything here is a nice summation of good practices. Yeah, what I always liked was students who asked for help. So they don't just, if they're doing an assignment, I like them to check with me if they're on the right lines. If I could think of any way of helping them, I like that kind of thing. Having a good conversation, a good relationship with a lecturer, I think that's one of the keys to doing well. And also, if you could read, if you spend half an hour a day reading, you'll be well ahead of everybody else in the class. Because my experience is students, they're very reluctant to read anything. And don't just read the textbook, read other stuff, read The Economist, read the newspapers, good newspapers, read good books, go to the library and just have a look around the shelf, see if there's anything that catches your eye. A well-read student puts more into their assignments. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Yeah. And another good practice in terms of, your good rated first degree will be valuable, but not always helpful. But if you got a good degree, you can compensate that as well, right? And also academic soundness, as Andrew said. So it does not matter, right? If you have kind of maybe not much academically you sound, but you keep trying every day, half an hour, right? If you search something, what's going on in the industry, what's new things are coming up, right? So if you're aware of that, so automatically you build up the skill or the accumulate skill that you need to, right? So then academic soundness is very much needed when you want to be successful as an international student. Here I put methodology as, the research methodology actually. So if you are very much, nowadays very attractive quantitative methods, right? So if you are good with quantitative methods, it's fine. Qualitative method, if you are very much, the advanced use of qualitative methods, right? So then fine, right? So you need to learn. So there are many sources online, YouTube. So you can self-learn those methodology related to your subject, right? So if I get you, my area of research in marketing, nowadays I'm applying structural equation modeling using partially square PLS, right? So likewise, you need to self-learn methodology that will help to write your research proposal and convince those who are reviewing your application, convince them you are really capable of doing that, so that you get more opportunity to go for a studentship, right? Publication could be desirable, but not always. If it is a PhD, right? If you got a good PhD proposal, it's not a requirement to have kind of publication with you already, but it is desirable, right? It's not mainstream, right? And last thing, so you need to be able to have the good network around. So know some people who can support you and creating value, right? So we always say value co-creation. It's not something you always taking some people out there, but you need to give back as well. So value co-creation is the key to have good networking, right? So people think that, okay, this person in terms of, good enough to have good research, right? So then go for it, right? So value co-creation is one of the key in terms of the networking that you can really go for it. Right? And I think thank you very much. It's a kind of 1 hour presentation, but I'm here with Andrew today to ask very specific questions that you have, and I think Professor Manjula can moderate this session to put forward, or you can even whoever in the audience, you can ask directly questions, though it's fine. So we are here to give you support possible. I'm really sorry about the bad connection. If you feel I'm not purposefully doing that, I'm trying to give you maximum and good experience to you in terms of the clear, but probably the network around will be upgrading. I don't know, but I got my laptop full internet connection, but I'm not sure what's going on, so sorry about that. And but you can ask any question directly from us. We are here to give you some insight.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you, Roshan, Dr. Roshan, for giving this very very good information to our participant. Then actually that I think you can, the most of the question that we collected through the Google form you have considered, no, already
Yes,
for
thank you.
preparation of your presentation.
That's
I
right.
think now if you have any clarification, you can directly ask from Dr. Roshan, and also Andrew also help. Any language you can use, English or Sinhala. Now up to you, you can talk with them.
Professor Manjula, it was really bad network. I don't know. Is it something?
No, a little bit, but it's okay, I think.
It's a,
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel bad because if I tell something, it's not.
Yeah.
The
Now,
right
participant, you can directly ask. You can unmute your microphone and you can directly ask.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need it. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Don't
think.
worry, you can ask any question, right? So don't.
Yeah.
Worry. This is the opportunity for you.
This
So
is
right
the
or wrong,
actually
doesn't matter question. Yeah.
Yeah, interactive session. Then you can ask any question.
Yeah. Don't worry. Anything you need to know.
Yeah, English or Sinhala, both you can use.
Yeah. I think.
So, thank you very much for your presentation. So, I have one question. What is your view about the research MSc? What is the category of that?
Okay. Right. MSc, right? Madhushan, right? So MSc.
Research.
research one, right? So any category, like, we categorize here as levels, right? So level 6 undergraduate, level 7 postgraduate level, starting from masters, right? So any MSc, MA, MBA, so they are equal that level 7. Level 8 could be, even MPhil could be level 7, MPhil. And level 8, PhD, DVA, and doctoral, different types of, right? So MSc research, right? I'm not sure which area you're looking forward, but it's still value adding to you for if you're looking for PhD. So that's really adding value to you. Get to the next, level 8. Is there something you're looking for, Marisha? MSc.
Others?
So Andrew also mentioned in the chatbot in his email. So if you want to get some further details from Andrew, you can email him as well. So ANMC85 @ Yahoo. Right. So one person asked, Samara Naik asked, do we need to contact related professors or the graduate school to find scholarship? Yeah, could be. Sometimes, if you read journal or anything, you might find some familiar names, right? Those who are working in, the university, so they are maybe the leaders of the area that you're looking forward, right? So then it's better you can reach them, say that you got a research idea, right? So that you're looking forward to, the scholarships. But you need to, main thing, you need to wait until they advertise those opportunities first, because sometimes they don't have at the time that you're looking forward information, but you might come up, later stage, they advertise. So you need to wait for the advertisement, like I said to you, PhD, find PhD website as well as jobac.uk, right? So you can search based on your preference. So you might come up with the related search for you to find a scholarship. But the main thing, you keep networking with the people who is, the leader of your area, right? And then keep search the opportunity, then apply. That's what you can use. General degree in MBA. University of Java, may not be, right? If you got a general degree, right? So then you have, the level 7 equal an MBA. It does not stop you to apply, right? Apply for a PhD, but it's purely up to the institution or university that you apply, right? So based on your transcript, based on your personal statement you write, based on the research that you propose to do, right? They're valuable, because one of the things, like, many universities, they got research agendas, they got research related proposal. They want to, improve their brand as well, right? So they publish their research agendas in their website. So if you check their research agendas or the current research, what they are doing now, so then if you match your research area with that, their mindset, so you got a better chance to get, or compensate your general degree with your authentic research proposal or the research idea, so that you can cover it up. But it's purely with the university that you're trying to apply. But I think, as a, the kind of general perception, it's not an issue. Right.
Yeah. In addition to Dr. Roshan, that what are the possible postdoctoral fellowship that I know that UK has many postdoctoral fellowship. Then those who are joined with that, those who have the PhD, then they can try for postdoctoral fellowship or short-term training or short-term fellowship, something like that?
Yeah, definitely, Professor Manjulas. Yeah, there are postdoc available in many areas. So the main thing, you can search those funding agencies that I discussed, especially in the British Academy. So the British Academy advertised recently about postdoctoral in the social sciences, right? So if you search on the criteria that you fulfill, there is no stopping point that can't get it. You can definitely get that, right? So it could be a 1-year program as training or research with the existing supervisors in the university, right? Or maybe you start doing a new thing with the partnership with the existing partnership organization. It could, but certainly there are opportunities for the postdoctoral, and during that time, you maybe they can ask you whether you want to stay, or maybe they invite you to be in the permanent staff, right? Depending on the opportunity, availability, and your capability that fits with that, your attitude, right? It could be a better chance if you got a postdoctoral can have maybe because almost every universities in the UK they have the sponsorship for a tier 2 skilled worker. So they got the skilled worker license because if anybody wants to sponsor anybody as a worker, they should have the license in advance. So almost every universities in the UK they have the ability to sponsor anyone outside if they are capable or have the right attitude, qualification, and mainly adding value to the institution. So then there is a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, that Dr. Roshan, that you mentioned that after the PhD or master program, the UK government will provide the 2 years working permit for those who complete the PhD or master. What about the postdoctoral fellowship? Once they complete the 1 year,
Yeah.
is there any possibilities to them to get the PR, or that is a permanent residence or some work permit?
Not really, because up to level 8, which is PhD, anyone comes as an international student, they got 2 years work visa, right? But anyone comes for postdoctoral, they are not eligible for a 2 years work post work visa. It's not they don't offer you, but it could be a partner with the institution or university. They might give you additional months or maybe years to work with them. Depends clearly the criteria or with the terms and condition that you have, or maybe they may change your mindset because once because the person they associated with work with, they find out, okay, this person will be very much ideal for us. So why not we trying to give him more opportunity, right? So then they offer you a kind of work opportunity. So probably from postdoctoral, you need to switch to tier 2 to get the permanent residency after 5 years. But on the other occasion, only 2 years you can get for the international student up to level 8. But the postdoctoral, it is not. It's not straightforward. I think I'm clear, Sumanjula. Yeah.
Yeah, actually that's clear.
Okay. I'm reading some of the chat
Yeah.
question as well.
I think very few question, because you that during your presentation you more focus
Okay.
about that all raised question in the Google sheet. Then that is why I think
Yeah.
And if anyone's want to share the idea about this webinar, or thanks to Dr. Roshan, then we can give that opportunity to audience. Because this one organized for you, for your to give more knowledge to you, your selection in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Even after, if you got any question, even myself, I can put my the regular email, the university wants for you to just to familiar with if anyone needs just write down. So if you need any further clarification, I'm more than happy to give you more support. සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් ඉතින් මමත් මේ ගොඩක් අමාරුවෙන් ගෙන තමයි ආවේ තත්ත්වයට. ඒකේ හින්දා කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හොඳට මානසිකව වැඩ කරත් තැනකට එන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. සිංහලෙන් මම කියන්නේ ගොඩක් අයට තේරෙයි. මේ මානසිකලා තමයි ටාගට් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ගොඩක් ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා. අමාරුයි ස්ට්‍රෙස්ෆුල් වර්ක් කරන්න ඕනේ. family matters තියෙනවා. right. ඒකට ඒවත් එක්ක තමයි මේ යන්නේ. දැන් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය කිව්වට දැන් UK කියලා එහෙම නෙමෙයි තමයි ටාගට් එකක් එක්ක ඉන්න. මොකද ඒක තමයි වටින්නේ. තමන්ට ටාගට් එකක් තිබ්බම මෙහෙම එකක් තියෙනවා. තමන් ටාගට් එකක් තිබ්බට අනිත් අයව මේ බයිපාස් කරන්න එහෙම ඇටිටියුඩ් එකක් තියාගන්න එපා. තමන් මහන්සි වෙන ගමන් අනිත් අයත් එක්ක හොඳට වැඩ කරලා හරි ඒ කෝ-ක්‍රියේෂන් කියන්නේ ගොඩක් වැදගත්. වැලියු කෝ-ක්‍රියේෂන් කියන්නේ හරි වත් වැලියු එකක් ඇඩ් කරනවා යන්ත් එක්ක වැලියු ඇඩ් කරනවා ගොඩක් අය දැන් අර සෙල්ෆ් ගොඩක් අය සෙල්ෆිෂ් එහෙම වෙන්න එපා. හරි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට තමන් කරන දේත් එක්කම අනිත් අයටත් මොන හරි දෙයක් කරන්න බලන්න. නමුත් ඔයාලගේ යූස් වෙන මම මේක අයින් කරා සමහරට මේ ප්‍රොසෙස් බඳින් මේක පොඩ්ඩක් කට් කරලා අයින් කරනවා. මම මොකද මේ ටිකක් ෆ්‍රැන්ක්ලි කියන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒකයි. ඉතින් හොඳට මානසික වෙන්න බලාගෙන ඉන්න. එතකොට ඕගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් මේ ඔයගේ ලයිෆ් එක බිල් කරන්න. right okay
අර මේ අපේ අයගේ තියෙනවනේ දැන් ඒ කියන්නේ අර no pain no gain කියන concept එකට තමයි අපි නේද? දැන් අපි ලංකාවේ වැඩ කරපු විදිහට නෙමෙයි පිටරටකට ගියාට පස්සේ ඊට වඩා වැඩිපුර මහන්සි වෙන්න වෙනවා. හැබැයි මහන්සි වෙන හැටියට ප්‍රතිඵල තියෙනවා. මම හිතන්නේ এডুকেෂන් එක ફોකස් කරනවා නම් මේ ගිහින් මුලින්ම এডুকেෂන් එක ඉවර කරගෙන අනිත් වැඩ ටික ફોකස් කරොත් හොඳයි.
අන්න හරි මම කියන්නේ හරියම අයිඩියා එකක් තමයි. අර තියෙන්නේ මොන ටයිප් එකේ වීසා එකක්ද ඒකට වැඩ කරන්න. tier 2 ද 4 ද කියනවා tier 2 කියනවා ස්ටුඩන්ට් කියනවා ඒකට වැඩ කරන්න. එතකොට හරි. ඒකේ ඔයාගේ තියෙන දේවල් ටික ෆුල්ෆිල් කරලා එතකොට ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ඊළඟ ස්ටෙප් එක. නැත්තම් ගොඩක් අය දැන් මම එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකෙන් දැකලා තියෙන ඒගොල්ලන් ඒක මික්ස් අප් කරගන්නවා. අර මේක මාරු කරගන්නවා. එහෙම නෙමෙයි. දැන් ඔඩියන්ස් එකට ගොඩක් අර ඇකඩමික් කට්ටියත් ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා කියලා මම හිතනවා. ඒගොල්ලන් ફોකස් වෙනවා නම් opportunities are clear opportunities are sit back in the
thank you Roshan that මම හිතනවා මේ අනිත් අයට ප්‍රශ්න මොන හරි තියෙනවද කට්ටියට නැද්ද?
put something on Sinhala. Etaram Nasanawar. I think translated from. That's really nice. And you put something on the chat board if you can read. Etaram Nasanawar.
That one answer that the one person asked, I have completed my bachelor's degree in archaeology, but wait. Archaeology, but I am trying to scholarship. Can I change my field to tourism? What are the entry requirements for the master degree in tourism in UK?
That's a good question actually. You can do that. But the best thing, I think you can make a connection. Like this is archaeology, it's Puravidya, Anitani. Puravidya, sir.
Puravidya.
Right. Okay.
Puravidya.
Right. Okay. Something to do with tourism, you can align that. Because if you're looking forward to switch completely something different, it may not be ideal at the first time. But I cannot say it's something cannot do. But sometimes you can link these two areas, archaeology and tourism. There can be a link, right? So you can link these two areas. So if you can convince that, definitely you can do it. But you can try. Definitely there will be a chance. Tourism, it's a huge area. Even though I think it's fascinating in research, actually, in the UK. There are lots of research funding, research, PhD offered in tourism. Definitely there will be a chance. Definitely. And if we go on website for the project, yeah. Somebody, yes, I think Andrew put some link to the gov.uk website for the further guidance. Right?
Yeah, then I think,
I think very much.
yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Roshan, and also Mr. Andrew. Thank you very much for your contribution to success of this webinar. And actually, this we organized this one for giving more valuable information to those who want to go to UK for the postgraduate, master and PhD. Then I hope that our participant they got the more information. This one freely available in our YouTube channel. And also once again I thank you very much, Dr. Roshan, to join with us and sharing very valuable information. සහ ඒ වගේම මේ කියපු ගමම අපේ ඉන්විටේෂන් එක පිළිගත්තු එකට ඇත්තට මේ ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙන්න ඕන. සහ මේ මම හිතනවා කට්ටියට අපි මේ දෙන්න පුළුවන් හොඳම තොරතුරු ටික දීලා තියෙනවා. ඔයාලට ඩිසිෂන් එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. අරගෙන මම හිතනවා ඔයාලගේ ගමන යන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට තව මොන හරි ඔයාලට අවශ්‍ය නම් අපිත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. සහ රොෂාන්ගෙත් මම දැක්කා ඊමේල් එහෙම ෂෙයා කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකත් එක්ක ජොයින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් thank you very much. Thank you, Roshan.
Thank you again,
Then
Professor Manjula, for the opportunity, and thank you very much for Andrew your time dedicated to weekends. So it's really appreciated.
Yeah. Then good night. Good night to you all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.